Where did this good news come from? Oh man, we've just received our October CPI reading, and it's a surprise shock to the upside. We got a double beat on core and headline inflation. We're going to break down exactly what does this mean? What does it mean for the markets? Bitcoin is up 10% right now. We've got equity markets across the board green. What does this mean? Is there more pain ahead, or are we finally out of this ditch? This is a huge piece of news, guys. Smash up the subscribe button. Check out the links in the description. If you want to trade in these moves, you can do so using BYBIT or BitGet, the two exchanges I use. Links in the description. Of course, only do so with funds you're willing to lose. Big 10% response, and that is to the CPI reading. We were expecting 8% here on headline inflation. It came in at 7.7. We were expecting 6.5 on all item less food, which is the core inflation, which came in at 6.3, a huge double beat. And what I want to show you is this. If you look at headline inflation, it's now deflected down nicely. Let's pop this to the line chart, and you can see that initially it fell nicely, but then it started leveling off, and we started getting scared that there could be some entrenched inflation going on, some sticky inflation, which makes it really hard for Jerome Powell to come down to his 2%. But he's broken through that plateau. The 75 basis points have taken effect, and a nice big decline here on your headline inflation. Let's also take a look at the same for core inflation. And we had 3 months of up, right? 3 months of up to the upside. And now we've seen a big fall down to 6.3%. The market beated the expectations quite handedly to the downside. What does this mean for wider markets? We are seeing that the US markets are really excited on this news. You've seen in the pre-market, the NASDAQ up 4.4%, guys. This is insane, making up for a lot of the losses from yesterday. S&P rocketing up 3.24%. Dow Jones currently up 2.4%. Now, can this cool off? By the time I upload this video, will this cool off? Will the market start to settle down? Naturally, you will get some settling down, but we need to understand what is this fundamental shift, because this is a fundamental shift. Now, it's a shame that all of this, in terms of Bitcoin, is during this quagmire of FTX, because if this mess was not here, we would be celebrating a really big day, something we've been waiting many months here on crypto to see a really good CPI report. The last few readings have been horrible. Nice positive report, and if we didn't have the last 3 days here of FTX, we would have been breaking through 22 and working our way towards 24 here on Bitcoin on this good news, and we would have been forming our big W pattern, which we were speaking about. So everything we were saying was right. Where we were predicting the market and predicting a nice relief rally, that would have come to fruition, and it has in equity markets. In crypto, we've been spoiled by this big flush down to new lows at 15,500 thanks to the FTX saga. And unfortunately, I don't think this is it. I still think there is plenty of contagion to play out, and whilst I'd like to think this was the last flush out and we can start working our way back up, and I still wish that happens, I'm still expecting the fallout of this to last many weeks and many months. But that can now happen on the backdrop of positive news, on the backdrop that CPI is starting to improve. What Jerome Powell is doing isn't futile. He is making progress, and he's not just, being aimless. And look at this, guys. We covered this off, the CPI reading, live on the live stream, but this is a quick summary video for you guys. And you can see here straight away, 80% of the market is now priced in 50 basis points here. So the majority of the market, just based on that CPI reading, expect Jerome Powell to pivot and slow down his rate hikes. And this is the big defining moment. This is the pivot that can eventually lead to 50 basis points, and then 25 basis points soon. And then soon he won't be rate hiking, and then maybe the discussion around cutting rates at some point next year. So really exciting here that we're starting to see that improvement, and markets can start to think ahead and try to front run the market in terms of reallocating their funds. Because what we've seen over this year is everybody taking their funds away. There was nowhere to make any money, right? They were taking their funds away, and that is one of the reasons why we saw the US 10-year doing well, right? The US 10-year does well in times of difficulty, but now you're seeing the yield start to fall. Down 4% here today, creating a double top pattern. Really nice now for this to start cooling off. Yields were well above 4%, and now they're back below 4%, which is really good news. If we take a look at the dollar index as well, remember, this is inversely correlated to crypto. We were waiting for this to come down, and we predicted it perfectly here, guys. We started calling this at the end of September, saying, look, if we can top off here and create a lower high and a lower high, and we did exactly that. Look at this. We broke our long-term trend line here, okay, on the 24th of October. We retested it on the backside as expected, created a lower high, and we got sent back down. Now what I wanted this low to be lower than this low here, and we've got that thanks to the CPI reading. So we're following the lines exactly as I've drawn them, guys. You can't write this stuff. I drew these lines ages ago, and this is now falling. More importantly, then the drawings is this. If I bring out the EMA ribbon on the daily, we are now below our EMA ribbon with a lower low. Now we can start asking for a long sustained move here to the downside on the dollar index. Now, normally, and this is where I say normally this would mean good for crypto. If this is going down, crypto should be doing good. But we've just got this added complexity of FTX, the FTX saga. So if that wasn't an issue, I'd expect Bitcoin to go on a nice relief rally and start catching back up to where we're supposed to be. Because if this saga wasn't here, we would have gone through 22, created our W pattern at 24,000, broke through that neckline here at 24, and start working our way to 27, 28 into our EMA ribbon, right? That's what I wanted. We were looking for a nice relief rally from here into this EMA ribbon up here. Okay, that's all we wanted. That's what we were asking for. But FTX has thrown us down with a very bad week here. So we got to catch up. We got to make up for that loss and start working our way up. But, and this is the big but, we are not out of the mess yet. There is a bunch of contagion risk which we need to understand. There'll be exchanges out there. There will be VC funds. There'll be hedge funds. There'll be projects with exposure to FTX who are in this pain. We don't know how far the tentacles spread. It's all going to come out in numerous weeks. There's going to be court cases. There's going to be legal action. There's going to be Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX at some point having to declare bankruptcy. Is Justin Sun going to manage to do a rescue takeover? Is that even good for crypto? We covered that off in our live stream earlier today as well. So loads of unknowns, a lot going on. We still got huge shorts on Tether, which depegged. We were one of the first to break this yesterday. Bunch of people calling this FUD. This was not FUD. This did, in fact, depeg. I'm going to show you the evidence yet again right now. And anybody who says this is just FUD, you're just being blind to what we're actually seeing. Let's pop this over to the hourly chart, and you tell me that is not a depeg. You tell me that is not a depeg, which we call nice and early. Yes, it's recovering. Thank you to Bitcoin improving now on the CPI reading. This will now be able to hopefully repeg, and we're out of it. But if Bitcoin wants to revisit 15,500, this will continue to be an issue. So thankfully, now up in the 17,000s, I think a lot of projects and companies and exchanges will be a lot safer. But if Bitcoin wants to revisit 15,000 again, if it wants to go even lower, remember, an 85% retracement from all-time highs on Bitcoin takes you to 10,000. 80% takes you to that 13, 14,000 rate. That will really test the liquidity of many major exchanges and projects and stablecoins. So make sure you guys are staying safe out there in the market. A really big day today. Yes, there's negatives going on, and it's a real shame that the FTX saga had to mess up this week, because this would have been a really explosive CPI reading for us. It still is. We're up 10%. Major altcoins are running. And if you look at the major altcoins here running, Ethereum up 16% on the news, 23% on Phantom, huge move up there on Phantom versus Bitcoin, and 17% versus USDT. Obviously, we're seeing FTT, not that I condone you trading this, is up 100% today, 100% on FTT. Matic recovering very powerfully. Polygon Matic is doing very well today, up 30%, and many other altcoins moving powerfully as well. So my warning is, look, longer term, this news is good. This is good news. Inflation is inflecting down. That can give us that light at the end of the tunnel that we've been desperately looking for. But we've still got the backdrop of FTX. I want you guys to proceed with caution. There's much more news, much more events, much more contagion is likely to spill out into the market over the next couple of days and weeks. So look, it's good news for our long-term bags, but short-term, exceed with caution. Guys, don't forget to check out my TA courses completely free. Ijaz.uk/TA. Make sure you've learned all the basics. EMA ribbon, Fibonacci retracements, all these charts. Make sure you're in our Telegram. Make sure you're in our Discord. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Be involved in the whole community so you do not miss out on any of the live streams, any of the data that I'm sharing before I get to make a YouTube video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this exciting and positive day for crypto. Let's take it like that. After the last few horrible days, this is some good news, and the broader markets can enjoy some green. Thanks for liking, guys. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.